Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day two of the Staff Development Program on Digital and AI Tools for Administrative Productivity. I am Neha Karade, your host for this session. We hope yesterday's session provided valuable insights into digital workplace practices and AI assisted documentation. Today, we move forward. One of the most essential and widely used productivity tools in administrative operations, spreadsheets and data management. Our session for today is on Excel Essentials for Administrative Operations. The session will cover spreadsheet basics, data organization, formulas, sorting, filtering, and administrative reporting using Microsoft Excel and Google Sheet to improve efficiency in your day-to-day office operations. We are delighted to have with us Dr. Satish Upadhyay, the resource person for this session. Dr. Upadhyay is Assistant Professor and a Program Lead, BBA AI Emerging Technologies at Atlas Kiltech University, brings valuable academic and practical expertise in digital tools, data handling, and technology enabled administrative practices. Though today's hands on session, participants will gain practical skills that can help simplify routine administrative tasks, improve accuracy, and enhance one's workplace productivity and efficiency. I now invite Dr. Satish Upadhyay to take over the session on Excel Essentials for Administrative Operations. Yeah, Dr. Upadhyay.
Yeah, thank you, Neha ma'am, for the introduction. And I love to thanks first AIU and Atlas Skilltech University for giving me such opportunity to share my experiences on this tool, Excel, and with the help of AI. Today's session will be hands-on and lot of the tools also we are going to cover not only in Excel, apart from that as well. So we'll see both the things. First session will be the manual work, and the second session will be based on the AI work. Okay, the similar kind of things what we'll do in the first session, we have to do the same in with the help of the AI tools. Now I'm going to share my screen. Uh,
Your screen is visible, sir.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Just I'm hiding few of the things from the screen.
Only Excel is visible. First tab.
Yes. Yes. So now coming on to Excel. In Excel, what we have seen, there are rows, columns, and there are so many rows, so many columns. There are so many sheets also you can attach. I hope everyone is joining with the Office 365. Anyone who is joining with the older version, can you please send me in the chat? I hope all the participants, those who have joined, is joined with that Office 365 version, not lower than that. Yeah. So I hope everyone knows about Excel, but anyway, I'm starting from the scratch. So these are the first at the top. You can see there is a ribbon where the file, home, then the different options are there. Maybe few options is not there in your case, like my name is there, with the subject name is there, then insert, then draw, page layout, and all those things are also there. Now, since you're doing sometimes few of the tasks regularly, so what you can do, you can make such kind of tab inside the Excel. Within that, you can group the different kind of tasks which you are doing day to day. And this should be the one which you can customize from your end. And how you can customize, within the file option, there is an option Within the option, you can go and customize the ribbon. Within the customize ribbon, below once you'll scroll down, here there is an option called new tab, new group, which you want to create, you can create, and that you can add over there. And within that, once it will be added, now once you'll expand this, within that you can add many options from here, this side, whatever the things which you want to add inside that. So this is the first thing which make you guys unique from others. You have created your own tab inside the Excel. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Please put a thumbs up that this is clear how to create a own tab inside the Excel. Okay. The next one, there are different other options like insert, draw, page layout, formulas, automate. Maybe few of the options are not activated in your case. So then the same way you can go and activate those options. For example, in this, again, go in the options, go for the customized one. Whatever it is being unticked, which you want to do, you can tick and then you can do that part. Okay. So I hope each and everything is set right now. Now we are moving on to the today's session. Yeah. I moved on the next tab, that is index, and the same file is being shared with everyone. I hope everyone is having the same file with the name SDP Digital AI Admin Productivity Excel 3-hour session. Now within that, what is the first point I'm going to discuss? What are the different kind of roles, different kind of tasks we are doing day to day life? And based on the different department, what are the key coverage areas? What are the target audience? For example, in the exam department, maybe seating related issues, results, marks entry, grade sheet, analysis, automation sometimes. In the academics, timetable, attendance, syllabus tracking, lesson plan, results analysis. In the accounts, fee ledgers, receipts, salary, budget, GST, there are different. Then in the HR department, employee database, leave, payroll, there are different options are there. In the admission, similarly, you can see inquiry tracker, merit list, allocation, fee status. In the placement cell, similarly, when you are preparing for the NAC, NBA, there is a criteria wise data, SSR report, matrix, event logs.
Sir, we
Satish
don't
sir,
have
sorry
Excel.
to disturb you. You
Yeah.
want me to share this? You are sharing it here in the chat, or you want me to share that this particular Excel? They are asking
Please share the Excel file.
on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
I'll share. Yeah?
Yes, please,
Okay.
please.
This
And
one,
I
which
request
you have
all
shared
the
with me.
participants, please open the file. I'll wait for a moment. Once you'll download and you'll open the same sheet.
Sir, also would
Participants, I
request
have
if you
shared
could
the
go
file on the
slow.
WhatsApp group. So if you all can just see. And those who
Sorry.
have not joined, I hope everyone is there in the WhatsApp group. It's there on the WhatsApp group, this Excel sheet. Please check. Yes, people have received, so.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. 1 minute. So right now what I'm discussing is what are the different kind of roles and different kind of tasks we are doing in Excel. So first moving on to the data entry part. Generally, it starts with the data entry. Wherever you'll go, if you want to do any task, first you need a data set. But from where you will get the data set? Maybe if you have the data set, you have to first enter it inside the Excel. sometimes what happens, you have the file in either in PDF format or in the handouts you don't have the soft copy. So then in that case, what you can do, you can take this picture of the data set. It doesn't matter what kind of quality of that data it is. I'll show you, let's say, for example, if you have a page like this, and this is folded also, and the data also you cannot see clearly, then also if you take the picture and you scan it, and then you want to get the data inside the Excel, easily you can get that thing. How you can get that, I'm going to cover that right now.
Sir, even scanned images can be done.
Yes, each and
So
everything.
does it
There
take
is a
OCR?
OCR option is there, yes.
Okay.
Those who have explored that in the data. So there is an option here, get and transform data. So from here, you can directly get that whatever the kind of data. If you have the images, you can explore from here from the picture. So what I'm going to do, I have already saved one file, and instead of opening this one, I'm going to open another Excel file, and I'm going to open that image from there. I hope the new Excel which I have opened is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Right. 1 minute. Now I want to bring the data over here from the data option. In the data tab, click over here, go from here, pictures from file. So what you all can do, if you have any data set which is in the PDF format or image, basically the image format, so you can open from here. And it will ask you where is your data set. So let's say this is the image which I have. This is the good quality image I've taken right now. So now you can see on the right hand side what it is coming. Data from the picture. We are analyzing your data. This side, it will give you the hint that manually you can also tell whether the data which you are going to import over here is correct or not. So you can import from here, and manually also you can give your recommendation, whether you want to insert, whether you don't want to insert. So let's say you want to review first. So this things, let's say this 20,000, it is not coming properly. So what you can do, you can write over here 20,000. And then accept. Similarly, this is okay, okay, okay. So whatever it is okay, it's fine. Whatever it is not okay, you can put over there, and you have either the blurry image or whatever the image you have. Based on that understanding, since you know what kind of data you can input over there, you can directly input. And if you're not sure, you can write not applicable or whatever you want to mention there. Let's say this one. Similarly, now you can do, instead of putting all those data entry manually, you can do like this also if you have the PDF or the hands ready with you. Now I'm going to close this one and then insert the data. Now it is asking 10 items still require your review. So if you want, you can review that, or you can insert and then after that also. But my suggestion, you first review here and then you insert. So now you can see that I have inserted the data, but there are certain issues also with that. Means data entering is not proper. But try to compare with the initial one to the latest one. Now you're not supposed to do all the entries right now. Only few changes you are supposed to do. This will save your time. I hope this task is clear during the data entry. Okay. Now I'm closing this tab. Now similarly here you can see, let's say data entry is being done. Now there are so many things in the data: admission number, student name, department, category, pass fail, attendance, fees paid, fees due, and there are many more options, right? And there is a remark section which you can do manually after that. So let's say this is the way you can do the entry. I hope everyone knows how to do the data entry, that I'm not going to cover. Then coming on to the formula sheet, there may be different sheets which is attached or associated with the main data set. And sometimes what happen, inside the same sheet or maybe in the different sheets, you are filling the formulas. Let's say, for example, how many total students have been enrolled. You want to find out the total number of students. So what you will do, you will count. So then you can use count formula. How many students pass? So then in that case, you can use count if. And then you can give the condition. How many students fail? What's the overall percentage? What's the class average percentage? So right now I'm just showing all those things. I'll show you individually how you can do that as well. Right? And then next, what you're supposed to do, you have to present the same data in the form of a dashboard. So in the dashboard, you need some data. Sometimes you are supposed to show in the tabular format, sometimes in the different kind of charts, line, bar, or pie chart, or the different kind of charts. Maybe you are using KPIs, key performance indicators, or maybe the slicers also you are using, so that you can make your dashboard dynamic, interactive dashboard. Okay. So these are the options that you can put inside the dashboard. Now, generally, what are the tasks? Wait 1 minute. Related to the exam department. So you can see hall ticket, admit card management, seating arrangement. So likewise, there are certain formulas that is being associated with that, which is mentioned in the column number E. You can see VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, sometimes if, and, concatenate, then mod, integer, index match, ifs conditions, count ifs, average ifs. Similarly, if you move on to the academics, so again you will see that different kind of formulas which is being required to do
Sir,
certain tasks.
sorry to interrupt. Can you please go slow?
Okay. So what I'm showing right now, department wise, what are the tasks that we are doing day-to-day activities, and within that certain formulas that is being required. So what are the formulas that generally we people are doing? So that I'm showing right now in the different sheets options. So first I showed the exam department. Now I'm showing the academics. In the academics, now you can see that conditional formatting, count if, filter, short, count if, average, sum product. So there are different options. Maybe I have not covered all the formulas, but few of the different varieties of the formulas I tried to cover. Similarly, now you can see in the accounts and the finance department, sum if, VLOOKUP, then sum if, count if, sum ifs. The next tab, that is HR and payroll. I hope this speed is fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Now coming on to the HR and the payroll. So maybe you need to do some data validation in the sense you have to create a drop downs. You should put certain constraint over there that value should not go beyond that values. Otherwise directly it should be highlighted with the help of conditional formatting or within that also. Then VLOOKUP. networks, dated if, count if, sum product. Then coming on to the admission cell, count if, rank, sum product, large, small, VLOOKUP, count if, sum if, count if, count a. So these are the formulas which I want to tell. These are the formulas generally we are using every day. Then coming on to the placement cell, filter, advanced filter, count if, Gantt chart, VLOOKUP, that different kind of charts, count if. Then coming on to the NAC or NBA related, generally sum if, count if. So there is a discussion about the task category wise. Then what are the Google Sheet work that we are being performed? Then key Excel features, common reporting activities within each tab. Now you can see. Similarly, in the office admin, principal office, till principal office. Now I request all the participants based on your task. You pick your sheet and tell me the common formulas that which you're using nowadays in the comment section. What is the task which you have to pick based on your activities, like is the principal office, office admin, NAC NBA related thing, placement, admissions, HR payroll, accounts. Based on that, whatever the activities which you are handling, you pick that one, and within that, what are the Excel formulas that you need to learn? Just text me. I'm trying to cover that kind of formulas over here. If by any chance I'm not going to cover that thing, I'll tell you how you can do that as well. So I'm giving you 1 minute. You just decide and then text me the formulas quickly in the chat. Data filter, VLOOKUP, count ifs, average ifs, okay. XLOOKUP, sum ifs, network this. Okay. Sum product, good. Sum product. Okay. So I got the gist. Advanced Excel formulas. Okay. Now I request all the participants to move on to this tab. On the data entry part. Consolidate. Okay. Thank you for the messages. I got the gist. Now please everyone come on to this one, data entry. Okay. So let's say right now I'm going to do few data entries manually right now, and you can also do side by side. Let's say some serial numbers, name, and marks, let's say, of the students, or not the marks, let's say unit, how many units total, and then price of each unit. Okay. Let's say 1, 2, this much, only 3. You can directly write here and drag also. XYZ, that is the name I'm giving. 12, 17, 15. And let's say the price is 100, 200, 300. So what you have seen, when you're doing the data entry, the text is coming on the left hand side and the numbers are coming on the right hand side. That is by default the setting. If you want, you can change the setting as well. Now let's say you want to find how many units are there. So directly you can use sum of formula. Directly you can click one by one or directly that entry as well. Let's say you want to find what's that? I want to find the total price with that corresponding to here total price. So what will be the total price corresponding to X? This into this. So what you can do instead of, let's say there are so many, so you can use the product formula. So I'm going to use the product formula over here. Since the data is small, so you can use either directly this one or this one, like this, and then drag. So you can see this is the one. So this is basically how to use some product and how to use some product. Let's say I want to find the total values. So how you will find the total values? Some product. And this, if you want to cross check also, you can do the sum till over here. And you can see both the values are coming same. So till small things which you. So for that, what you can do, you can generate the task with your understanding, and the same will see how you can do with the help of AI as well in the second session. So I hope this is clear. I'll write here the formulas. You can see what kind of formula I have applied over here. One is sum product, one is sum. Right? Now let's say after doing the data entry and some calculations over here, you have the understanding of all those sum, count, max, mean, mode, standard deviation, each and everything. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete all those things, or wait, instead of deleting, I'm going to add, not here, here. So that I can now let's say if I want to convert this data into a table format. Now what's the use case of table? Either you can select that or Control T, or directly you can go in the insert option and then make this data as a tabular data. Go in the insert table. So it will ask you your table has header, then you have to tick mark that. Okay. Now what's the use case of making the data inside the table? Once you have created the table, you can see table design is coming over here. Click on the table design. There is a total row option is there. Just tick mark those total row. Tick mark the total row. So what I have done, after doing a data entry manually for 3 rows, that hardly it will take 1 or 2 minutes. And then after that, I've converted the data into a table format. Then I went on to the table design, which is coming when my cursor was there inside the data set. Table design you can see on the ribbon. Now within this ribbon, you can see there is a table style option. Within that, initially it was unticked. Now you tick that option. Now once you have ticked, now you can see the same value coming over here. That is the subtotal. That's the total of the entire price. Let's say you want to find that unit 1. So there will be a drop down is coming everywhere by default. I hope you all can see the drop down. Within that drop down, either you can go for average, count numbers, maximum, minimum, sum, standard deviation, variance, and many more functions. That is generally one of the use case of converting your data into a table format. So no need to apply different inbuilt formulas manually, but with the help of the drop down, you can create those kind of formulas. And then you can get either average, count, max, whatever it you want. So let's say you want to count the sum, click on that sum. Now you can cross check also these values and these values are clear. These values and these values are same. I hope this is clear and I'm not going too fast. Yes, please. Anyone please text me. Text me in the chat if it is clear. What you all have done, you have converted the data into a table format. Now that this is the use case of this. Now similarly, another use case is that if you want to add more data, directly it will come inside the table, either left hand side or the right hand side or the this side in the column as well or below that. It will be directly come under the category of the table. That is the use case. Now, what is the best part of this, converting this into a table? Let's say I'm applying a filter. Now you can see the filter, how you are applying filters over here. Let's say I want to see only for X and Z. So if I want to see only for X and Z, then this data should not come into the picture, the Y value. Then I'll get the value of this one as a total price 1200 plus 4500, which is what I'm expecting. So what I'll do, I'll remove this one from here or from the name, from wherever you want, unticked, or you can apply the text filter. We'll see that part later. Let's say I'm going for the untick this Y. Now you can see automatically this value is being updated. Why this is being updated? Because here in the last row, the formula which is being used is subtotal. So what is the formula that is subtotal carries? Subtotal means whatever the values coming on the screen, it will do that apply the formula only for those values. If you have applied the sum, if you have applied the average, if you have applied the count, it means it is applicable only for those data which is visible on the screen. Which is not visible, for that it will not do that addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, maximum, minimum, sum, standard deviation, or any other options. So that is the use case of converting your data into the table format. I hope this task is clear to everyone. Yes. Now we are moving on to the next tab. Now within this also, if you want to explore more, you want to make your data look in a different way, you can do that. Just bring your cursor on through the table, go on the table design, and you can explore many more features within that. Here you can change your design, whatever you want, you can change like that. Okay. It's up to you. If you want to take this side also, you can see, take this one, first column. So you don't want that banded rows, so that banded rows will not come. You don't want the filter option, you can remove that. You want, you can do that. Okay. So this is how you are converting your data which you have entered recently, and then you're converting into a table format, and you have seen how to use subtotal. Within that, multiple inbuilt functions you can use at the same time. So now I'm moving on to the next one, data cleaning part. Let's say you have done the data entry. After that, you have converted the data into a table format. Within the table format, you have explored many features which you cannot do manually with, well, let's say when you have not converted this into a table format. For example, now I want to apply some option over here. This is coming 44. And I am applying the filter over here. Now I'm changing this to the, let's say why I don't want. Now you can see that value is not changing, right? It should come 27 instead of 44. So that is the use case of converting that into a subtotal formula. Subtotal you can use apart from that also inside the table. Like inside the table, it is coming inbuilt, but apart from that, if you want, you can use that also. You can use subtotal like this. Use equal to subtotal. Now within subtotal, there are many more options. Average, count, count A. So since all these things are coming right now, we can see each and everything one by one. So average, so I hope everyone knows, count is counting that whatever the values it is coming, it is ignoring the text values. If you want to count the text values as well, and well as the numerical values, so you can use the count A formula. So let's say you want to use the count A formula, or count, you want to count within that how many values. Then from where to where? From here to here. Now you can see 2. Now you have added, let's say, one move. So now you can see that value is updated. Change from 2 to 3 because now that value is being added, this third value, Y as well. So I hope this is clear. Table, subtotal, and what are the benefits of converting the data into a table. Puts a thumbs up if it is clear. Then I'll move on to the next part, that is data cleaning part. Okay. Thank you. Now moving on to the data cleaning part. And I'm going in the sequence, starting from the data entry to that converting to the data to the table, then doing the data cleaning part. So one of the data cleaning part which you can do initially when you have imported the data. So at that time you can cross check. So sometimes by any chance, let's say some mistakes are coming. Now how you can resolve those things? So I'm going to discuss that part. So like here you can see in the employee ID. So some of the things you have to use your common sense, and based on that you can remove those errors. For example, if the employee ID is there and every rows is just discussing about unique persons, so in that case employee ID cannot be repeated. So if that kind of repetition is there, so you can ignore that. And two different persons cannot have the same ID, right? So you can remove such kind of errors. The second one, let's say inside the name, in the name some extra spaces are coming. Somewhere the name is not written in the proper format. So how you can do that cleaning part? For removing the extra spaces, you can use the trim formula. And you can see the data cleaning file when you have opened, from column number H to the remaining column on the right hand side is the solution part. and the solution is already shared with you all. What you can do, you can just click over here and you can see the trim function is being applied over here. And if you want to try, just do one thing, you delete this one, and now you can apply the formula equal to trim, select this one, and then hit enter. Right? Now you can see here, since proper is also attached with that, that's the reason this is also coming. Now let's say this also I'm deleting. So what you can do, equal to upper, lower, or proper case, whichever you want, how you want your data to look like. So you can use that kind of functions, like upper is for uppercase, lower is for lowercase, proper is for the proper case, in the sense first alphabet will be capital letters for the different text which is coming. Okay. So proper.
Can you show? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm showing that. So let's say I'm going to show this one. Now, since in that case, already it is given in the proper format. So now it is coming in the proper format. Now, since what I have done here, I have used the proper from this data. So in that case, the extra spaces is coming. But if I'll do that proper function from the trim function, so then in that case, that extra spaces will not come. So what I can do, equal proper, and select this one. I'm going to do certain mistakes. Let's say this is in a small letter. Wait, this is in small letters. Okay. Now you can see here it is coming in Anjali Sharma as S is small, but here since I've used the proper function, it is coming in the capital letter. I hope this is clear. Now I'm going to delete this one. I want to show one more feature of that Office 365 or the latest version of Excels, which initially it was not there. That is called spill array. I hope majority of the time you all have seen when you are applying any formula equal to trim, let's say, okay? And I'm applying this formula and I'm selecting right now this entire data. What I'm doing, I'm applying a formula inside a cell, but selecting an entire data set related to that column. What is my expectation now? If I do that, enter, it fills the entire thing corresponding to that. Why it is doing that? Because this kind of features available inside the latest version of Excel. Earlier it was not there. So that's the reason if you're selecting for this, so what Excel is assuming, you have to apply the same to the corresponding rows. Though you're applying the formula inside one cell you have selected, but you are getting for the others as well. Now, what is the drawback of this spill array? The drawback I'll tell you. Let's say here by mistake I have done one entry 1, 2, 3 by any chance. Now I want to apply the formula here equal to trim and then select the entire data to the corresponding where I want to apply the trim. Hit enter. Now you can see that there is an error coming, that is spill. What is this error means? This error is telling something is blocking your passage. Because of that, the result is not coming. If I remove this blockage from the passage of this H column, I'll see the result. Now you can see. I hope this is clear. Just put a thumbs up, clear, not clear. Or you want me to repeat? It's fine. I'll move forward. Yeah. Thank you. So this is the way now instead of, okay, Ganesh is telling once again, So quickly I'm telling, let's say if you have this one, and this kind of features you can use for the later task also. Equal to trim. So trim is clear right now. What is trim is doing? Trim is removing the extra spaces which is not required. But please make sure that in the name and the surname that extra one space is required. That is not the extra space. It removes only the extra spaces. Let's say two spaces are coming. In the beginning also, let's say some extra spaces are there. So that kind of extra spaces it will remove, the trim function. So now what I'm doing, I'm selecting this one. And then what I have done, hit enter. And then I can see for the entire. So initially what we were doing, we are only selecting this one and then this one, and then we are getting and then dragging. So by this way, it will save your at least maybe 1 second also. Okay. And let's say here again, I have written something too. Now you can see again an error will come. Why? Because that passage is being blocked by this number. So once you'll remove, again you'll get the answer. So this is basically the trim. Now proper is clear. Similarly, if you want to do upper, lower, so you can explore that part as well. The next one is text to column. Sometimes what happens, you have multiple text and you want to convert this into a various column option. So how you can do that? So within the data option, you can see that there is a text to column option is there. You have to bring your cursor inside the text data. And here you can see in the data tool, I hope my cursor is visible, text to column is there. So inside the text to column, once you'll click your data, first you have to select your data set and then you can convert your data into the different kind of options, whether it should be separated by a comma, it should be separated by a space bar, it should be separated by a, let's say, colon, semicolon, how it is being separated. And if you want to apply multiple conditions, you can apply multiple conditions as well. So for example, let's say I'm going to delete this one. Okay. Delete this one. So I shared the solution also. The reason, because if you have missed one of the parts, so the solution is already there. Proper I've removed, you can put that proper. Now let's say this is the column which I want to convert into the text to column. So I have to select this one. Nothing is there, no? Right? Okay. Go on to text to column. Now it will ask you whether you have to go for the delimited or the fixed width. So there are two different types of options will come. And this you can also see when you are browsing sometimes CSV file, when you're opening the CSV file, and this you have seen how the CSV files look like. There's only sometimes the comma is being used to separate the different datas. So you can separate that with the help of those commas. Characters such as commas or tabs separated each field. Then fixed width. So let's say we are going on to this one. Next. Now it will ask you, there should be a text, this, or whatever the options you want to separate. Now since this is not coming, so we have to go for which one? Delimited. In the delimited, now you can see the semicolon, comma, space, others, whatever it is not inside that, and you want to use that options. Let's say, for example, here semicolon is there, colon is not there. So you can put colon also if somewhere colon is coming, and by that you want to separate. So for example, let's say we want to only separate by semicolon. Now you can see wherever the semicolon is there, that is being converted into the different columns. Comma, if you will select, now you can see the same, wherever the comma is there, that is being converted into the different columns. If you want to put space also, You can put a space and then that will be converted into the different column. If you want some other types within that which is not existing either in tab, semicolon, and comma and space, you can put over here and then you can go for that. Let's say, for example, 2 space bars, 3 space bars, or like that. Since you have already clicked that space, so no need to go for that, or some colon. So you can go for that as well. And then you can finish. Now, once you'll finish, now you can see that already it is the data is there. So either you want to remove that or you don't want to remove that. So accordingly, you can do that. Fine. I hope this is clear how to separate that text, two text, let's say inside that, and then you can separate that. So that is how you can convert text to different columns. Sometimes what happens, there are texts and you have to concatenate is also. You have to merge two texts and you have to make it one. So how you can do that? You can use the formula called concatenate. So let's say here instead of text to column, now I want to merge two things. Let's say this. Okay, wait, I'll do that thing. I'll copy this one and I'll paste over here. And now I want to make this into a two text, right? Go into text to column, fix with, delimited, next, and then make it into, since it is separated by a space bar only, so that will also work. No need to tick all those things. But if you want, you can go for it. Finish. Now you can see that name and surname is being separated right now. Why this kind of error is coming? Anyone who can tell me? That Ravi Kumar and all those coming in the next one. Just give me a minute. Why this is coming in the second column? The reason, because there was an extra space which was put there. So since extra spaces were there, so it is assuming that there is one column there, and that's the reason it is coming over here. So before doing these kind of things, you have to apply the trim and then you can do that. Okay. Now let's say you have name and surname. Now you want to merge those things. How you can merge that? Use concatenate. Concat. Then you have to select this text, then comma, select this text. Now, if you'll select by this way, what will happen? What kind of issue will come? There will not be any space will come inside that. If you want, you can try that. See, a space is not coming when you're merging two text. And if you want to put that space, so you have to put a space bar like this. If you want to see the formula, I'll zoom it. You can see the formula, what I have applied over here. Equal to formula text. You can see this is the formula which I applied to merge two texts. Okay. So you have learned how to separate and how to merge also. So similarly, if you want, you can merge so many. You want to separate, you can separate so many with the help of text to column and concat function. Now, similarly, there are many more things also. It is there inside that to do that cleaning, data cleaning. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you all those things like trimming spaces, how to remove that. It is written there on the right hand side. Once you'll move your cursor on the data set, few of the important thing which is written over there. Not all, but the important one is written over there. So you can use the formula trim. Now, if it is containing any formulas and you're copying and pasting this directly, so the formula will also copy paste. But sometimes you don't want to copy and paste the formulas. You want to paste this as a value. So you have to make sure that when you're copying and pasting, you have to paste this as a value. I'll show that as well. Let's say this is the thing which I want to copy and I want to paste over here. And if I'll apply some formula, since it is being attached with that L column, within that some formulas are there, and I don't want to apply those formulas. So Control C and then right click and paste this as a different options. These options are there. Now, if you want, you can explore the different options here over here. Paste as this option, and the same thing you can find in the insert option also. So I'm going to show you from here only. Paste special. Now within that paste special, there are various ways you can paste. You can paste either with the formulas, with the values, with the format, with the comments and notes, with the validation. There are various options. If you want to paste and you want to do some operations, multiplication, division, and all those things, you want to transpose, you can do like this. You want to paste this as a link, you can paste this as a link also. Okay. So let's say this I want to paste this as a value. Now within this you cannot find any value, any formula. But here you can see the formula, but here you cannot, because this I pasted as a value. Now sometimes it is required to paste this as a value, otherwise it is going to affect the further columns. So better to sometimes paste this as a value. Okay. Now moving on to the trim spaces is clear, proper is clear. Find and replace, sometimes some mistakes you have done throughout your data entry part. So you can directly Control F and Control H and replace all. How to handle the missing values? Some missing values are there and you want to remove all those missing values. You can select that and then replace with that missing values, whatever you want to fill that. You want to remove the duplicacies inside the data. Now the duplicacy may be in various sense. In the sense like the entire column is duplicate, or sometimes only few things you can see that there is a duplicacy, but each and everything is not duplicate. Maybe that happens because of the data entry mistake. For example, I'll show over here. Let's say here Anjali Sharma and here Anjali Sharma. Okay. The employee ID is 110 and here the 101. Now, since the employee ID is different, what it seems that these are the two different person with the same name. Now we'll go for the further check. Now here you can see that there is a name is also, joining date is same. So joining date can be also same. Sales values also you can see it's same. Now email ID. Do you think email ID is also same? No. They are also belonging from the same region. Their address is also same with the certain changes. Let's say, for example, here the comma is coming, but here the commas are not coming. Mahavir Nagar, Jaipur, Rajasthan, and pin code, each and everything is same. Now, when you have done this kind of deep analysis, then you came to know that there is a duplicacy. This kind of duplicacy easily, this remove duplicates cannot find. So for that, you need some human intelligence, because what is the first thought that is coming? That employee ID should be different, right? but all other data are same except the employee IDs. So sometimes what happens that this is a kind of manual entry. And why this manual entry happened over here? Here there is a extra spaces are coming over here. So it assumes that key that with spaces this person is different and without spaces this person is different. Now if you want to remove the duplicacy, you can select the entire data, or you just bring your cursor inside the data and then select that remove duplicates. And now you can see it is asking you, you want to select the entire thing. Your data has a header. Okay. There is no such duplicacy. Now let's say there is no such duplicacy. So what I'll do, I'll make this as a duplicacy so that you can see yes, duplicacy is coming. So then duplicate will come. I hope this part is clear. You can also explore that part, how to remove that duplicacy from here. So I'm moving on to the next part. I hope this is clear. So can I move for the next part instead of showing you the duplicacy? Only you have to select the data set and you have to click on remove duplicates. It will remove the entire duplicacies. Okay, thank you. The next one, how to bring the drop down. Sometimes it is being required. Drop down. Let's say I want to make the drop down over here with the different employee names and with their employee IDs. This kind of task I want to do. So how can I make that drop down? So let's say here I want to make a drop down. Go into that data validation. In the data validation, and right now I'm going too slow. Once you click on the data validation, there is a setting option. Within that input message, error alert. But here my task is to create a drop down with the employee names. So click on the any value and go on the list since I want to create a drop down list. Click on the list. Now what is your source? If you have decided your source, give the location. So let's say here the source is, I'll move my cursor over there. Yeah, from here to here. This one, right? Now I've given this as a source and click OK. Now you can see there is a drop down over here. Here I created a drop down. Now you can see the drop down will come with the names. I hope this is clear. How to create a drop down with the help of data validation. Fine. Okay. Okay. I have to repeat this. Okay. I'll repeat this again. So let's say now this time I don't want to create only for the name. I want to create for the employee ID. So put your cursor over here where you want to create a drop down. And here I'll write name, let's say, so that it will be clear. And here it is ID. Okay. This kind of drop down I want to create. So just bring your cursor over here. Go on to the data tab in the ribbon. Here data. There is a data validation. Click on this data validation. Inside the data validation, you can see settings, input message, and error alert. This I don't want to explore right now. Let's say I want to create only the list. But if you want, you can explore that part. There is a very good features inside that. So within the data validation, what you can do, you can put the limit within this cell. There are certain things which should come, which should not come as a limit. So now I want to create this as a list. Click on the list. Give the location. What are the sources? If you don't have the sources, you can create your own over here separated by a comma. You can write like that also. But since I have the locations of the what kind of things I want to create, so I'll go on to that column, employee ID from here to here. And this is the source which I have selected. And I want to create list, ignore the blank in cell drop down. Okay. Now, since I've selected OK, now you can see on this column here, there's a drop down is coming. Earlier, it was not there. Now, whatever the things you want to select, you can select. I hope this is clear. So I'll quickly move on to the next one. Okay. Okay. Subtotal I've already explained, so no need to explain this again. I hope this is clear to you. Reshma, you're telling, can you please repeat? That data validation, creating a list, you're asking me?
Yes, sir. Data validation.
Okay. Again, I'm going over here. So, okay. So let's say here only in this table I'll create. Is this fine? Right? So let's say here I want to create a salesperson's list as a drop down. So I'll write salesperson. So I request everyone to move on to this sheet with the name table subtotal. And here you want to create a drop down. Put your cursor over here, go on to the data tab, go on to the data validation, click on this. Now there is a list option, list, and give the data sources. Now here the data sources is the name of the persons. Select that. Right now I'm going too slow. So I hope this step is clear. Allow, in the allow you have selected list. In the data by default it is coming, no need to select anything. Source, you have to select that location, what you want to put inside the drop down. If you want to select up to, let's say Sandeep, so you can select that much only. So that name will not come. So let's say, for example, I want to select from here to here only. Okay. And I don't want to consider this person in the drop down list for whatever the reasons. So you select, now you can see in the drop down list till here it is coming, and that name is not coming, but that name is coming only because that name is initially in that data set. Okay. I hope this is clear how to create a drop down. And this generally we are doing every now and then, and it is being required. So you should know how to create a drop down. Now I'm moving on to the next part. I hope this is clear. Please put a thumbs up if it is clear. Okay, thank you. Now within this, certain things like how to create this as a filter option. So I hope at least everyone knows how to create the filter. But anyway, let's say your cursor is inside the data set. Go in the data tab. There is a filter option. Create this as a filter. Now, earlier I showed you how to convert this into a table format. Now I'm showing you how to make this into a filter option. So now you have created the filter. Now within that, sometimes what happens, you have to apply one condition in a column, or sometimes different conditions inside the columns, multiple condition at the same time. So if you're applying multiple conditions and let's say the data set is small. So in that case, though, you can select, let's say this column, this column, this column, this column, like that you can select. But if multiple conditions are there, then what you'll do? So for that case, you have to explore the advanced filter options. I'll show that, but before that, I'm going to show that how you can apply the simple one, the basic filter option. Now within that, there are two types of options will come. One is the text filter, when you have the text data selected. And when you have a numerical data, so you'll see number filter. When sometimes a colored items is also there, the filter by color will be also highlighted. So let's say here I want to highlight it. Now I'm going to a conditional formatting. I want to apply certain color code. Greater than 10. Okay. Now if you'll see here, filter by color is also being coming. Earlier it was not coming. So depending on if some conditional formatting is being applied over here, so you can apply that kind of filters. So there are three kind of filters you can see over here. One is the number filter, then text filter, and the color filter. Now, based on that, whatever the requirement is there, you can apply that kind of filter. So for example, let's say here I want to see the numbers which is greater than, let's say, 5. Greater than 5. So you can see all the numbers are coming. And wherever the filter is being applied, you can see these kind of symbols will come. Now I want to apply filters based on the color. Filter by color. So only that color will come. If you want to remove, you can remove the filters. So this is basic filtering option, how you can apply with the help of color filter, number filter, or the text filter. Okay. If you want to apply inside the text also you can do. Okay. Now coming on to the conditional formatting first, and then we'll move on to the advanced filter. Now conditional formatting. This is one of the important thing when you're dealing with a lot of data, so that easily you can highlight certain thing based on the color code, based on the numbers, the data bars are there, based on the traffic lights. Okay. So I'm going to show you all those options, but I'll not do all those things. So let's say here, I've already applied certain filters, and now you want to see what kind of filters I have applied over here. So you just click on the conditional formatting, click on the manage rules. Manage rules. So in the manage rules, you can see what kind of filters I have already, conditional formatting I have already applied. So from here, you can see I have applied one in the bottom two, one is the top two, one is the cell value less than this one. So these kind of filters I have applied. If you want to edit those options, you can edit from here. You can add, delete, you duplicate. You want to add new rules, you can add new rules as well. Okay. So let's say, for example, here I want to highlight only the text which is north. So what I'll do, I'll select this, select on this, highlight. So can I go for greater than, less than? No. Between? No. Equal to? No. Text that contains, because it is a text data, categorical data. So text that contains north. And I have to write like that only how it has been written. Let's say, for example, I am writing like this. So it is picking. But if any spelling mistakes, so then it will not pick. So let's say north. And I want to go for the custom format so that you can explore the different options also. At the same time, I can do multiple things. There is a number, there is a font, there is a border, there is a fill. And within that fill effect, more colors, then the pattern colors. So whatever how you want to apply, you can do that. Let's say, apart from this, I want to apply that outlines also to my text which I am selecting. Okay. Let's say I want to change this to the bold also, or italic. Now you can see color also. If you want to I have not selected the fill color. So let's say this will fill with this color. Now you can see multiple conditions I have applied over here. So you can see that text is being bold as well as it is coming in italics. Also, the color is coming. For the text also you can change. For the cell also you can change. Okay. So similarly, in the conditional formatting, you can see various options. One is based on highlight cell value, which is greater than, less than, between, equal to, sometimes text that containing a date value, so date occurring. Then duplicate values are there. If you want to highlight that thing, you just select duplicate values. It will highlight all the duplicate values. So let's say, for example, I'm selecting over here and I want to highlight the duplicate values. So obviously, wherever the duplicacy are there, means the same number is being repeated twice. So that will come under the duplicacy, right? And since I've selected the entire data, so since here you can see in the column D, each and everything is same. So here you can see that color is coming somewhere, that the number is repeated. Because of that, it is coming under the duplicacy. Somewhere that here you can see that is being repeated. Region also, because of that, it is coming under the duplicate option. Now you want to find the top 10 percentage, bottom 10 percentage. And if you want to change that criteria also, you can do that. Above that certain values, below that certain values. You want to create your own rules, you can go for it. Based on the values also you want to see. Let's say this is the values. And based on that, I want to put the data bars. Now data bars will come. What kind of color options you want, you can put over there. Now, higher the length of the bar, higher the value. Lower the length of the bar, lower is the value. So by this way, you can easily identify. So this is the use case of the conditional formatting. And similarly, color scales I can set, and all those things, also options are there. So let's say I have not covered all, but I'll show you in the next session, if anything which I have not covered, that also how you can do that. Then moving on to the next part. I hope this part is clear, conditional formatting.
So can you repeat manage rule once?
Okay. So what I said, in the manage rules, what is the use case? Whatever the conditions which I have given. Let's say now I have created the file. I want to share my file to someone else. And someone else is working. How can they know what kind of rules you have applied? And how they can do the editing part? So just select the entire data. Go in the conditional formatting. Go on the manage rules. So manage rules will show me the entire conditional formatting which I have applied. Now, if I want to edit anyone, I have to double click, and then I can do those changes. That is one thing. Again, if you want to remove that thing, you can delete also. Let's say delete. And okay, now you cannot see that data bars over here. So that is as per the name, manage rules. So whatever the rules which you have applied, you want to manage that thing. That's the reason that name is being given. Okay. Create, edit. Now you just hover your cursor and you can see what manage rules can do. I hope this is clear. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now, similarly, here the task is being given and the solution is also given. If you want to explore, you can explore that part also. Clear? Similarly, this kind of conditional formatting here, that certain task is being given, you can explore. And if you'll do these kind of things, each and every thing related to the conditional formatting is covered over here. Okay. Now coming on to the string functions. I request everyone to come on to this sheet with the name string functions. Okay. Now again, as per the previous discussion, same here also you can see certain things, you can see the data is there, and somewhere you can see the result is also associated with that different columns. Now let's say here till here remarks order to this one. Okay, this one. So I'm going to add over here insert. So what I'm doing right now, from this column to this side, you can see the result, and this is my data set. Okay. Now this is hash is coming, so it means I have to expand this one. So how can I expand? Either dragging this one or just select in this way and double tap anywhere in between these columns, anywhere in between, and it will automatically adjust. Similarly, if you want to adjust for the rows, you just select those rows and click anywhere in between, and it will automatically adjust the rows. And similarly, if you drag like this side or that side, it will apply the same thing for the entire rows since you have selected the rows. Similarly, if you select for the columns, it will apply the same thing for the columns as well. Okay. Since that error was coming, that's the reason I was discussing. Maybe a possibility sometimes what happens, the date is being written and the date is not coming as a date format. So you have to cross check that formatting of each and everything is proper or not. So for example, if this is a date column, so it should come in the date format. Here it is coming as a general. You can change this to the date format, either the short date or the long date. Otherwise, what will happen if you are applying any conditions or the formulas, it will give you an error. And let's say if it is coming in the number format, so you can see these kind of numbers will come for the date. Sometimes when you are sharing your data to someone else because of some formatting changes, this kind of issue may arise. So this is the pre-check you can do. You have to check that this should come in the date format. Similarly, if some currency is there, that should be in the currency format. If text is there, text format, numbers there, number format. If like that, you have to just do that cross check related to the formatting. So formatting, how you can do, either clicking on the home tab and then doing the formatting, or directly you just bring your cursor, right click, and then format cells will come. Within that also you will find the same options. Okay. Now here, what are the tasks over here? You have to join these two things. Let's say this column B and column C you have to join. So what's the formula? Concatenate. Okay. If let's say I want to see that left side, from the left hand side, I want to see the starting 5 characters. So how I can see that? So why you need such kind of things? So sometimes let's say I have a list of the debit cards, the credit cards. I want to see the last 4 digit, the starting 4 digit, in between the 4 digits, or let's say the student app IDs are there. So these kind of things, if you want to see the left, right, and mid and all those things, and how to count the number of characters. So for that, there are certain formulas, left, right, mid, length, and all those things are there, right? So for the left, if you'll apply, so it will count the starting from the left hand side, the 5 characters. Now you can see what is the total 5 characters over here, JOHN and 1 space bar. That's the reason here the 5th character is not coming. If we'll change this to the 6, now you can see that D is also coming, right? But for 5th character, since it is space bar, that's the reason that was not coming. And if you want to apply that, you can apply for that entire thing. Now you can see everywhere 6 characters are coming. Similarly for the right, from the right hand side, it will come. From the mid, in the mid, you can see that why I have changed this to the text. And you have to give the text condition. Wait, I'll apply over here. Formula text so that you can see the formula. into. So this is the formula which I have applied over here. You have to give the value. Then what is the format text for the mid? It is asking you the text. It is asking you the starting number and how many characters from the starting number to that, how many this you want to print. Okay. Yes. Just 1 minute. Huh? Yeah. So like left, right, and mid is there to find out either from the left hand side, right hand side, or from the center. Okay. Length will give you the total length. How many characters are there inside that? Then find is there if you are searching something as a text inside that. Then trim, which you have already done. Upper, lower, proper, and all those things are there. Okay. So quickly moving on to the next task. Up to here, any doubt, anyone? Okay, wait. Fine. Coming on to the advanced filter. Now, this is very, very important when you have a larger data set and you have to apply a multiple conditions. So for multiple conditions, what you can do, you can give the initial conditions and then same will be applicable. So here you can see that this is the data set. Okay. This side from here to here, this is the data set. Though it's a very small data set, just for the understanding, we can pick this data set and how we can apply the multiple conditions. So let's say the multiple conditions like I want to see that hiring date and then marketing department. Whose hiring date is, let's say, less than this one date, and the department is from the marketing. This I want to see. Similarly, there are more number of conditions are there. So what you all can do, you can write like this, the whatever the multiple conditions, 10, 20, 50, 100, just write. Then you can apply the advanced filter. I'm going to show that. Wait. This. Okay. So here you can see these are the conditions. So what I'll do, I'll copy this one. I'll show, let's say I want to apply over here. Just for your understanding, otherwise you will get confused. There's so many data inside it. So I copy it from here and I paste it over here. Okay. And this is the thing which I am looking from this data. So one is the manual way. Directly you apply the filter on the hire date and in the department and you'll get that thing, that their data. The another way, if you have the multiple options, then only you can use that advanced filter. Now go in the data, just bring your cursor over here. First put your cursor inside the data set, go in the data, there is an advanced option. Click on the advanced filter. Now since your cursor was initially inside the data set, automatically it will select. Otherwise you have to manually select the entire data set. Okay. Now you can cross check also that data set is only selected. Now here there are two options. One is the filter the list in place and then second copy to another location. Filter the list in place in the sense you want to filter over here only or you want to give some another location. So I want to give to another location. I don't want to disturb my data, let's say. So then another thing will be highlighted where you want to copy. Okay. The second one, it is asking you the criteria range. So for the criteria range, whatever you have written, you just select this thing. Now, since in your data set, this was your headings and this corresponding is the criteria below that hire date and department. This is the criteria which you are giving. And now where you want the result, now put your cursor over here and give the location. I want to see the result, let's say here. Okay. Okay, you want to put, okay. Once you put the okay, now you can see here, date wise, the department. Only this data is there. So similarly, you can apply multiple conditions, and here, just for your more understanding point of view, here you can see there's a solution and then the task is being given. Let's say that filter by multiple departments. Let's say the sales and the IT department, these two things you want to see, these two criteria you have selected. So in the advanced conditions, when the condition it will be asked, you have to select till here. Similarly, for the hiring date, you can select till this much. You have, let's say, there are so many other like this. Salary department, and there are many more. Right hand side, it is coming. So like this. This is the symbol for not considering this one. No, not this, not like this. Okay. Similarly, here you can see there are multiple conditions. So you can try this one. Now I'm moving on to the next task. So I hope the advanced filtering is clear to everyone. Okay. Moving on to the next one. VLOOKUP. This is one of the important formula I think everyone is using. Even every faculty, every admin staff, everyone is using. But before coming on to the VLOOKUP, I want to tell you a small background about that lookup, VLOOKUP, and all those things. So earlier there was lookup. Within that lookup options, there are some issues. Then within that lookup, there are two types of lookups are there. If you'll search here equal to lookup, see there is a lookup. Within that, two types of lookups are coming. Lookup value, lookup vector. There is a lookup value and then the lookup array. I don't think anyone is using nowadays lookup. Okay. So there was some issues. That's the reason now we came on to that HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. The difference between the HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP, everyone knows. I think that is one is for the horizontal, another is one for the vertical lookup. Vertical in the sense like column wise, one is for the horizontal in the sense row wise. That's the basic difference. Otherwise, it is searching the values from the entire data set. Lookup is basically that searching that values, whatever you want to search. Then now there are certain issues with that VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. That's the reason in the latest version of Excel, you can see XLOOKUP is also there. So we are going to see VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP for this particular task. And here you can see a little bit theory about that. Let's say this is the data where the employee ID, name, department, job title, hire date, and salary is being given. Okay. And for this data, first you have to understand that data, and then let's say I want to do certain analysis. There is an employee ID, their department, and their hire date is given. I want to search this employee ID. Okay, this employee ID, and it belongs to which department and what's the hiring date. This I want to search. So what I can do, I can use the formula as you can see over here. So wait, I'll apply the formula text. Now you can see both the formulas. Have a look. I hope this is visible to everyone. Yes. So in the
Yes.
marketing department, let's say, sorry, employee ID. This I am searching from this data set, above data set. And what's the department that I want to find out? So for that, I have to use this formula, VLOOKUP, and within that, as per the syntax, it will ask you what's the lookup value. So lookup value is this one, EID015. This is my lookup value. And then I'll search for what? What's the department? This I have to search. Then whether it falls under which category. So now I have to go as per the syntax of VLOOKUP. What the syntax of VLOOKUP says, it says you have to search for the lookup value. You have to give the table array, the entire location of the data, then column index number. Column index number is the number where is your result lies. Okay, that you have to manually count. And that is the drawback of this VLOOKUP. Assume now the data set is not only restricted to 10, 20 column, let's say 1,000, 10,000 columns. So do you think then manually you have to count? How many columns are there in the Excel? XFD. If you'll see, from here to here, XFD, that is 16,000 plus datas are there. The columns are there. And if you'll see that row wise, 48,576 rows are there, right? So do you think that counting is easier task? No. So then in that case, you need another formula. That's the reason XLOOKUP is there now in the market. But we'll see how you can apply the VLOOKUP. But for the VLOOKUP here, what I've done, you have to select, give that lookup value. Then it will ask you that what is the table array. You have to give the entire location of the table. And I put this dollar symbol, the reason because I want to fix that thing, the column. Otherwise, if you move my cursor and if I'll drag my formula, that values also keep on changing. A1, it will change to A2. F21, it changed to F22 if I'll drag like that. Okay. So I don't want to change this because the data set position is fixed. So that's the reason I put this dollar symbol. And how to put the dollar symbol? The shortcut is selecting the column and put F4. Okay. I'll show that also. And then it is asking you what's the index number. Index number is where my result lies. My result lies in that column number 3. So how you're counting? So based on your data set which you have selected, so that from where you have selected, that is your column number 1. Then since employee ID I have selected, then column number 2 is your this one, and then department, that is the column number 3, and this which is I'm searching. Now similarly, let's say if I have to select the hire date. So for the hire date, what will be the value? The column, that is the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have to manually count. That is the drawback of this VLOOKUP. So now I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing with the help of XLOOKUP. So here I'm going to show you. Type equal to XLOOKUP. I hope if you're using Office 365, you have this kind of features. It is there in Office 2021 and then the latest versions of Excel. Now it is asking what is the lookup value. So lookup value is this one which I am searching. Now it is asking me, just please keep tracking that what is that it is being highlighted. Now my cursor is on lookup array. Lookup array is from the data set, where is your array from where you are searching EID015. So my lookup array is this one from here to here. Now I put the comma. Now it is asking me what is the return array. Return array is basically your solution. Where is your solution? So my solution is in the department because I'm searching for the department column. And then comma. Now whatever it is coming in the square bracket is not mandatory. If you'll close the bracket also, you'll get the result. But for some complex situations, you have to fill those details as well. But for this kind of task, no need to go for that another one, like if not found. Let's say if not found, I want to print an A. Then comma. Then it is asking you what kind of match mode you want. You want to find that exact match with the next smaller item, exact match, then wildcard, then different options are there. Okay. So let's say exact match, 0 I'll put. Then it is asking you how you want to search inside that. You want to search from the first to the last or the last to the first, because sometimes what happens, the same kind of names are coming in from the starting also and in between also. So if it will found the first name, so directly it will stop doing that. So what kind of search mode you want to on? So, but for this kind of task, if you're not filling also, it's fine. Then close it and hit enter. Now you can see that marketing is coming, what we are getting from the VLOOKUP also. So this is the real use case of XLOOKUP. Now, if you want to fix this one, why you want to fix this one? Function F4. That is the shortcut. Select that the data and F4 you have to press. Depending on what kind of keyboard you have, if you want to activate F4, then you have to press function, Fn key, and then F4. And if you don't have that kind of features in your keyboard, so directly you can press F4. Now this I have fixed. What do you think? This also I have to fix or not? I have to fix this also, because these two are the things which is being fixed. If I'll drag, so this should be fixed, right? Enter. Now if you'll drag, you will not find any error over here and you will get that correct answer. So this is basically the use case of XLOOKUP. Similarly, you can apply this to one sheet, multiple sheet, or there are so many others, right? Now, if you want, you can try for this one. At least try for any one to apply the XLOOKUP. And I'm going to show you that what is the syntax. Equal to XLOOKUP. First lookup value which you are searching, then lookup array. So here only you have to bother about two things. Where is my question? Where is my solution? These two things. But in VLOOKUP, you have to select the entire data set and then that column number you have to give where is your result. And in that case also, if you're selecting not the entire data set, only half portion of the data set, then you have to count from which column is your data is starting and in which column your results are. So that you have to count. Okay. And here only the first and the last. I request participants try for at least one. I've given the solution with the help of VLOOKUP. I request you to try with the help of XLOOKUP. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next step. I'm assuming this is clear to everyone. Or you want me to do this one? Okay. So advanced filter VLOOKUP is clear. Now I'm moving on to some logical functions and this quickly will move. And I'll try to finish this before 12. So this one, so let's say these are the data which is being provided over here. until M1 and M2 it is being given. And you want to apply now AND condition, OR condition, XOR and NOT condition. I'll show you one and then remaining you can easily understood from that because the solution is given. Now, let's say you want to find, I'll move like this. Okay. Okay. Here the employer name, there the list of the items, there the professions, and M1, M2, that is the marks that is being given. So here it is asking, employee is a researcher and he has desktop. So you have to find the employer who is carrying both the things and it should come with true condition. So you have to apply the formula and then select B2 equal to this one. So what I'll do, I'll remove this one, equal to, and what's the logical condition? Let's say this one equal to desktop. If the text is there, you have to put in inverted commas, that you have to remember, comma. If this equal to researcher, and the same spelling you have to put and then hit enter. Now you can see true and false like this it is coming. Now, this you have to keep in mind when you are writing text, the inverted comma should come. If numbers, without that also it will work. But if you don't want to remember all those things, how you can do this again? So I'll show you another method. You just put your cursor here equal to and open bracket and click on this function. A dialog box will open. Now with this dialog box, now here you can write like that. Instead how you are written over here, similarly you can write like this. Okay. Similarly, now you can do for OR condition, XOR condition, NOT condition, and the condition here it is being given in this. Just for your understanding, what is XOR, what is NOT, what is OR, what is AND. Okay. Now moving on to the next one, that is exact. Why and this one is very, very important. Let's say when you are applying the if conditions, I'll show that. And I'll show you. So see, I shared that all those formulas and the solution is also there. You can explore that part. Okay, like AND is working similarly, XOR will also works. You have to go with that syntax. Clear? Equal to. So let's say I want to show you that formula what I have applied over here. And then this one. Now you can see this is the formula which I have applied over here. So here in that case, if condition, I have applied only the first condition. If B2 is means this column is equal to delivered, that is coming, it should print no, otherwise it should print yes. Okay. This is the condition which I have given. Now let's say in some of the cases, if I want to see exactly how delivered is written with the small letter, capital letter, how it is being written, that I want to filter it out. So in that case, you have to go for the exact formula first. Now what exact will do, exact means you just apply the formula. Here I'm writing that formula of text for that so that you all can see. Have a look. I hope this is visible to everyone, right? So equal to exact, within that syntax, it is asking you what's the text, and then have a look. Equal to exact, open bracket, text 1, text 2. What two text you want to make it exact? So let's say this one with that delivered one. So here, obviously, it will not come here. In transit is there. Here it is. Delivered is there. But somewhere where you have written delivered in this way, all the capital letter, and where you are getting exactly the delivered capital letter, there you are getting true. Have a look over here in the 8th row. Okay. In the 8th row, you are getting exactly same match. So this kind of exact you can use when you have, let's say, password, and passwords you are writing in different ways. For example, in the next one here, two things is being written, two passwords, let's say this one and then this one. And you want to cross check, like twice you have to write your password, and the second time you have written your password correctly or not. So like if these things you want to cross check manually, it's a very tedious thing. So you have to use a formula called exact, and exact will give you that whether it's coming as an exact match or not. So here there is a mix of if function associated with exact is being used. So you just assume these exact, what it exact will do, it will tell you whether these two are matching or not. If it is matching, it will write as per the if condition, it's a match. Else it will write not a match. So now you can see it's a match, not a match. So there may be something which is not matching, and that is the bracket. You can see. Okay. Similarly, you can see over here. Here that is that if condition is being applied. I hope that if condition is at least clear to everyone. If you want me to tell you how to use that if condition, I'll tell that as also. Then there is a nested if. How to use the nested if. This also we are using so many times. Ifs, nested ifs condition. So here let's say the name of the employees, their score and their bonus percentage that is being given. And have to apply if condition or ifs condition. So here I have applied the if condition, and here I have applied the ifs condition. So here I am writing as a heading if, and here I am writing as a ifs. So here basically not if, it is a nested if. Okay. So both the formulas you can see over here. And how you are giving this bonus percentage? How this percentage is coming? Based on this score. Let's say over 90% to 10%. Okay, 5-minute break you all are asking. Okay, 5-minute break, Anna. So we'll meet sharp at 12. Is this fine?
Yes, sir, we can give 5 minutes break.
Okay.
By the
Thank you.
time, during the break, if anybody has any questions,
Yes, please.
so they can ask those questions. If you have, maybe you can type it in the chat box, because we need to complete also, right? So by 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Satish sir, I hope you are able to access the chat.
Yes. So right now there is no such chat, only that break, 5-minute break that they have asked.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now I have to move a little bit fast. I have to increase my space.
सर इफ यू इंक्रीज द स्पीड लोगों को समझेगा नहीं.
Okay. Acha, advanced filter you're asking? Okay. So coming on to the advanced filter. So why we are using advanced filter, first we have to understand. So if the data set is very small, let's say only 4 or 5 or 10 conditions you're applying, yeah? So directly you can go on to that following columns and you can apply those filters. It's very easy. But when the data set is large, so what you can do, you can write all the condition in one go, and then you can go onto the advanced filter option. I'll show that. But before that, you have to make sure your cursor is inside the data set. If it is not there, then you have to manually select the data set. So let's say I want to click on the advanced filter. Now automatically it selected the data and the filter the list in place. There are two options. One is the filter the list in place and the second is copy to another location. Filter the list in place will do the editing over here in the selected data. Let's say I don't want to disturb this one. I want to make this as a new place. So then go for the copy to another location. For that, you have to give the location. And here you can see the list range is basically your data set, and then criteria. Criteria which you have written in the form of text or in the form of a symbol, that you have to give the criteria range. Okay. If you have 1, 2, 3 or multiple conditions, you can select in one go, give the range of the condition criteria, and then you can apply, hit apply, okay, and then you'll get the solution. So I'm going to show that. So let's say this data set I've selected. Now I'm selecting on the copy to another location. Now what is my criteria? Now this time, this is not my criteria. Let's say now my criteria is, wait, I'll see that. Department and then salary. Okay. Let's say here there is a typo error you can see. This side, department and their salary, right? So let's say this is my criteria now. Okay. I know there is a typo error department and then HR I am searching and then salary greater than this and less than this. Okay. And where I want the solution, let's say I want the solution next to this one. Next to this one, right? Hit OK. Now you can see this is the solution which you are getting. Department, but here you have to write the correct spelling. HR, and here also you have to write HR. These two conditions, and then you can apply the conditions. So if you'll apply, so in that case, you will get only those filter options. So what I'll do, I'll remove this again and I'll show that again. HR. Okay. There's some formatting over there, which I have applied previously. So these two conditions I want to apply. Okay. So in that case, you will see that the amount is within those values, less than 55,000 and then greater than that. So if you want to apply those two conditions, wait, I have to check that all the spellings are correct. Yes. Or I'll select another one so that quickly I can show. Let's say this one salary and the department that is being given. Okay. So bring your cursor inside the data set. Let's say here, advanced filter. Data set is selected. And the condition is this one. Condition you have to write before selecting it. Okay. And then this, you have to give the location over here. Now you can see the solution coming over here. This side. Department. Only finance. It should be less than 60,000 and it should not include that department. So that is the way you can apply the multiple conditions, and you can write so many other conditions as well. So this is the use case of advanced filtering. If you want to apply multiple condition in one go, then you can do for it. And within that data also, if you want to see the changes, so select that filter the list in place. No need to give the location also. And if you want to see only the unique records, then before that you have to put a tick mark over this box. Otherwise, if there will be some duplicacy, so that will also come. Clear? I hope everyone is back right now, so that I can start quickly this one. So first, right now we have only 1 hour. So first 20-30 minutes, I'll try to cover the pivot table, charts, and the dashboard, and then we'll move on to the AI part quickly. Okay. So what we'll do, instead of, if we'll see time permit, we'll do the hands-on in the AI part as well. If not, so I'll show you how to do that. So here, how to use the if condition. So for the if condition, let's say here, before coming on to this column, how you got that bonus percentage as per the score. So there is a column that is being discussing their score versus the bonus percentage. So you have to give the criteria. If it is greater than 90, then it should go for 10%. Else, then comma, else, again, if condition I'm giving, if B2 is greater than or equal to 81, so it should go for 7%. Else, again, if condition, if this is greater than or equal to 70, then 5%. Else directly it should print 3%. And this is the condition which I applied, and I got the bonus percentage from this particular table. I hope this is clear how you got this column number C. This is the if condition. If inside if. Okay. Now, how to apply the ifs condition? For the ifs condition, IFS, you have to write IFS and then you have to give the condition. First, this is greater than 90%, greater than 90, it should give you 10%, comma. Now, inside that, you're not supposed to write every time if. That is the use case of IFS, ifs. Here you can directly start writing the conditions. If B2 is greater than or equal to 80, 81, 7%. If this is greater than or equal to 70, 5%, else 3%, like that. Okay. So by this way, you can use the nested if. Now we are moving on to the pivot table. I hope this is clear. So I'm moving on to the pivot table. And since we are supposed to use if and nested if conditions every now and then, so you should be confident on this if condition. Okay. Then moving on to that pivot and the pivot chart. So instead of coming onto the pivot directly, the data set, come onto the pivot table with the name pivot table. Everyone. So here there is a discussion, a little bit theory about the pivot tables so that you can easily understand what pivot table is doing. So it's a very powerful Excel features. What it can do, it can summarize, it can analyze, it can explore, and it can present the larger data. Summarization shows like a total or average sales. For the comparison, it can do the comparison as well. It can do the filtering. It can do the aggregation. This is one of the important concepts that you have to understand when you are applying the pivot table. You are getting that aggregate options. What that aggregate in the sense? For the entire data set, which you can represent in one single value. So let's say, for example, what is the data set is there? What is the sum of that data? So let's say one value will come. What is the maximum of that? So that is basically the aggregation. So sum, count, average, max, min. So these kind of things we are dealing in the pivot table. Instead of dealing the individual one by one as a data, we'll move on to that aggregate as a bulk, as a one concept of that. Then visualization, what kind of charts that you can create for that kind of data set. So here you can see the step that is being written, how you can select the data set, insert the pivot table, build the pivot table. There is a row option, column option, values option, filter options, how you can apply all those things. It is being written. So I'm going to show you one of the conditions. So this is for your understanding. You can refer that quickly. I am moving on to the pivot here, the left hand side. Okay. I hope this is clear from where you will refer and from where you are doing. So let's say here I want to create a pivot table showing the sum of values based on the year and the sales. But for that, I have to first understand the data set. Here there is a date. Now in the date, you can see there is some error. It is not coming in the text format. Okay. So wait, I'll change this to the text format. Number format, sorry. Date format. Okay. Now it is coming in the date format. Now it is asking you to create a pivot table. So for creating a pivot table, first make sure your cursor is on the data set anywhere. So let's say my cursor is there inside the data set. Now click on the insert. Here you will find the pivot table. Click on the pivot table. Now it is asking you to create a new table. Yes, new worksheet. So new worksheet. If you want in the existing one, so it will go for the existing as well. So let's say new. So what it is doing, it is creating a new before that. Okay. Now within this, you can see on the right hand side, there is a pivot table field where the data set, the column names are coming. The filter options, whatever the filters which you want to apply, there is a column, there is a row, there is a value. Okay. Now, whatever the kind of pivot analysis you want to do, you can do over here. Something which you want to see in the form of a rows, columns, you can drag and drop. And in the values, you have to put only the numerical values that only you have to just understand. Let's say I want to do not the same thing. I want to do that sales representative and their values I want to see. So I'll drag and drop over here and their sales value. This I want to see. Now I can see that there is a sales and there the representative, the values are there. Maybe that name inside the data set, if you'll go, that is the overall, that how many times that name is coming. This is the sum of those values. Similarly for the Changs, Glenn, Jenny, and all those things. Okay. Now you want to convert this into a percentage. How you'll convert this into a percentage? So either you apply the formula over here and apply the percentage, or directly what you can do from here, there is an option value field setting. Either from here or from there also you can right click value field setting. Now I'm going too slow so that you can have a look. Okay. So what I have done, I dragged sales representative in the rows. I drag sales values in the value, and then I right clicked on the sum of sales values value field settings. Then click over here. Now here, whatever the options you want to change, like as you've seen in table, the last column, sum, count, max, mean, average, all those things. So similarly here also, if you want to change this to the count, average, maximum, minimum, product, you can change from here. There's a lot of options available. But this comes under the summarize value by. If you want to show values as, just move your cursor from here to here. There is a no calculation, percentage of grand total, percentage of column total, percentage of row. So whatever you want, let's say I want to go for the percentage of grand total. Okay, now I can see that is being converted into the percentage. And for this, I want to make a, let's say, pie chart or a bar chart or a different kind of charts. Okay, so I can go for that also. So similarly, if you want to add more options, you can add more also. Let's say, what is the region? I want to put region over here. So now it will do that region wise analysis. And if you want, you can move up and down also. Let's say this you want to make it below that. So that also you can do. So like that also you can do. Okay. So how you want to do? You want to put region here, you can do this way as a white table. This is a white table way of the presentation instead of tall table. So you can see like this, how you're presenting. Okay. Let's say I don't want this one, so I can remove. I want to put something inside the filter option. Let's say region wise, I want to apply the filter. So now you can apply the region wise filter also. What are the region wise filter you want? You want to apply multiple, you can select multiple. You want to apply single, 1, 2, like that, you can do that. Okay. So this is the way you can create a different kind of pivot table. Once your cursor is on the pivot table, now what are the changes you can see on the ribbon? Have a look. I'll show that also. Once your cursor is there on this, there's a pivot table analyze is coming. Now within the pivot table analyze, sometimes what happens, field list is not there, that is being ticked. Now you cannot see that side. So sometimes what happens, by mistake it is not coming. So how you can bring that? This way. Buttons options, okay. Field headers, each and everything you can see over here. Now corresponding to that, there is a design option also. Since it is a table, now how you have done the designing for the table, you can do that designing for here also. Just to make your data more look attractive, right? So similarly, you can add banded rows, banded columns, that kind of flexibilities are there. Okay. Subtotals, grand totals, report layout, these kind of things you can explore. And just have faith in me right now. I'll show you some of the features which I'm not covering also you can learn. I'll show you that tools. Okay. So similarly, what you can do, you can create more number of pivot tables as per the questions attached over here. So let's say here, similarly, you can make this kind of pivot tables. Have a look. The second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, or many other kind of pivot tables. This is just for your understanding how you can make You can put it something in one rows, multiple rows, multiple columns. Okay. Not only one values, multiple values also you can use. Now moving on to the I hope this is clear how to create a pivot table and what is the use case of pivot table. Now moving on to the pivot chart. Now you have created, let's say, one pivot table and I want to convert this to a pivot chart. So how you can do that? Have a look. In the pivot table analyze, there is a pivot chart is also coming. Click on the pivot chart or click on the recommended pivot chart. Let's say here I am clicking. Now this window is open right now. So I can go for any types of charts which I wish. So I can select that. Let's say I want to go for the pie chart. The reason because there is a data in the percentage. But I'll tell you if the data is more than 5, don't go for pie chart. Otherwise it will be a confusing task. There is a book written by Cole. Within that, it is being discussed what kind of charts which is best for what kind of data set it is. So if anyone want to read that, it's a very nice book, Storytelling Through Data with Cole Knaflic. So here you can see that kind of charts which you want to insert. You just insert it. Put OK. And that kind of charts is coming. Now the next is how to decorate that chart. You want to put the data labels. You want to put the data label inside, outside, wherever you want. Okay. So these kind of features you can explore how you can do that. But I showed you how you can make from the data to the different kind of charts and what are the inbuilt options available inside the Excel. Okay. So from this, pivot chart. Now let's say you want to change the design. Click on this design. You can change this to this design or something else. There are various design options available. There is a color palette option available. You can change this to the color palettes. Okay. So this is one way of making the pivot table to the pivot chart. Now I'm moving on to the pivot chart, pivot table to the pivot chart to the dashboard. Okay. I'll show that. So let's say you have made one pivot table, one pivot chart. Similarly, if you want, you can make more so that you can understand your data in a better way. So that is the next task. You have to create, let's say 3 or 4 types of pivot table. So after creating the 3 or 4 different types of pivot table, you can create a dashboard. So I'll show you another one, which I haven't shared, I think, in this. In this, it is not there. Okay. Wait, I'll come on to that. Charts and dashboards, right? This one. Here, I'll show you this one. So for that, I'm telling you the steps. Let's say first what I have done. So what I have done, I dragged year and sum of revenue in the values and years in the rows so that I can show the trend lines, how that year by year the revenue is changing. That is the line chart I have made. The second one, for the same data set, I have made another chart, that is the bar chart, horizontal bar chart, which is showing, and the steps are same. Again, if it is not clear, I'll show you that the steps, how I made that. Okay. So you have to drag and drop something in the rows and the columns based on your understanding what you want to present. So let's say I want to do the product-wise revenue analysis, that is the average. So from here, instead of sum that is coming by default, I change this to the average. Earlier by default it was sum, I change this to the average. I want to do that average-wise analysis, let's say. Okay. Then similarly, one pie chart. Okay. So for this data set, I have made pie chart, bar chart, one column chart, and one line chart. 4 charts I have created. Now it's time to make a dashboard. How you'll make a dashboard? You try to bring all those charts at one place. All the 4 charts at one place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say I've arranged this in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4 charts. Okay. I arrange this one. Now I have to bring slices into the actions. Now what is the slices? How to bring that slices into the picture? So for that, here, wait, I'll show that. 1 minute. I'll move this down. Yes. If you click on any of the chart, okay, if you click on any of the chart, let's say you have made 4 different charts and you have placed only this chart, 1, 2, 3, and 4 charts. These side linings were not there. So let's say, for example, I'll remove one. Let's say this one, month I'm removing, right? I'll remove month. And let's say this is there. This I have created, but I have not showed you. So I want to bring over here the month one also. So just bring your cursor in any of the chart, select that. Now you can see pivot chart analyze will come. Click on the pivot chart analyze and select here the insert slicer. Now what it will do, it will insert a slicer. Now within that slicer, what you want to put. So let's say if you want to put 1, 2, 3 or tick so many, you can go for that also. If you want to tick, let's say only month, which I have done initially. So I am selecting this one. So now you can see this month is coming. And now I can move from here to here anywhere. I want to expand this. I can expand this also. Okay. For this slicers, once your cursor is on the slicers, then only here slicer will come. Have a look. Slicer. Slicer is coming. Now similarly here for this, you can change the settings for the style and all those options. The column, how many columns you want that data set, 1 column or 2 columns. So let's say if I'll change this to 2 columns, now my data will be split into 2 columns this way. Okay. So this is the kind of options available. And if you want to adjust that height, width, all those things manually also you can do. Or here also, if you want to be very precise, what value you want to give for that, all the dimensions you can give over there. Now, let's say I want this as a 1 column only. Let it be, because then only it can be fitted, right? And then this like this. Fine. Color, if you want, you can change that color. It's up to you. Fine. Now what I have done, I brought 4 different charts, which I have made from the pivot table, and 2 slices, one here, one here. Now it's time to connect the slices with the charts. So click on the slicer, go on the slicer. There is a report connection. In this report connection, there whatever the pivot charts which you have made. So let's say I have given the name of the sheets, bar chart, column chart, line chart, pie chart. Now I know what kind of charts which I have created. So I have to tick mark all. So if you'll tick mark all, then what will happen? If you make any changes in one of those other charts, you can see the changes. Similarly, for this slicer also, you have to go for the report connection. You have to tick mark for all, which I have already done. So for your case, what is the task? You have to create first 4 pivot table, pivot charts, bring all those charts at one place, copy and paste, then bring slicers, and you have to make this dashboard. Now let's say I want to see only for Kevin. So for Kevin, this is the data. Now you can see this is also attached with this one. By default, it is coming. I want to do for 2 persons. Then hold the control key and select multiple conditions. And if you want to remove all those from here, you can clear the filter. So this is the way which you can make your simple dashboard, but this will take time. I'm going to show you how you can make that dashboard within 5 minutes or within 2 minutes also. So I hope this is clear. The steps are clear, but you have not done that thing side by side. The steps, if you want, I'll write over here. So first, what you have made, pivot table. Pivot table. After pivot table, what you have made, pivot chart. After pivot chart, what you have made, you copy pasted all the charts. At one place, let's say new sheet. Okay. And how you are deciding which pivot table, which pivot chart, based on your understanding about your data set. When you have a command on your data set, you will easily say which kind of charts is best for that kind of data set. If you're not sure also, I'll tell you certain tools which will tell you what kind of charts you can pick. I'll show that also. The next one, after pasting all those things, bring slices. How you will bring slices? Click on any of the chart. Right click on any of the chart. Go to pivot chart. Analyze in the ribbon. And then insert slicer. After inserting the slices, now it's time to connect the slices. So go for report connection. And after report connections, you have to tick mark all. Inside the report connection, tick mark whatever it is being required. Here, since the 4 charts are only there, let's say I have created 20 different charts, but all I don't want to see. So I'll pick only those which I want to bring into the action. And then finally, dashboard is ready. Now, if you want to give the heading, you can bring certain text box right here, the heading. And then if you want to remove here that grid lines, you just remove the grid lines. You want to fill this with different colors, you can fill this with different colors. You want to change the design of the charts, you can click over here, you can change the design of the charts also, whatever the kind of charts you want, right? After doing all those things. So this is basically cleaning the types of charts. But I hope at least this steps are clear. This steps to make a dashboard. Say yes, no in the chat if it is clear. The steps. Okay, thank you. So now you can see making a dashboard is a tedious task, but I showed you how quickly you can make that. But when the data set is very small and when you have already understood the data set. Now, let's say if sometimes what happens, the data set is too big, it will take time first to understand the data set. Then you have to decide what kind of analysis you want to bring, what kind of dashboard you want to create. Based on that, different kind of KPIs also, which I have not showed here. How you can bring that KPIs, key performance indicators, and then the different visualization, different slices, how you are connecting those slices. So generally it took time to make such kind of things and to bring the insights from the data set so that quickly you can understand how the trend is going, what is the weakest part within that, where needs more attention. So these kind of things you can only do when you have created the dashboard. Now I'm going to show you the next one, that how you can do all those things with the help of AI. Till here, the formulas and other things which I have covered is the theoretical portion. Now I'm moving on to the AI part. Up to here, any doubt? So I'm going to minimize this one. I'm going to open this one. Have a look. Now bring your cursor onto that analyze data sheet, everyone. Analyze data sheet. I hope everyone's cursor is on the analyze data. Now here, there is another feature which is there in the Office 365, which is our life. That is analyze data. You just bring your cursor inside the data pane, or maybe in your case in the home tab also you can find there is a analyze data. Click on the analyze data. Now once you click on the analyze data, here it is showing try an example. It means any data and you want to do some analysis, you can do the analysis with this example. But if you have the data, you can do an analysis for that as well. So let's say I'm clicking on try an example. Once I clicked on the try an example, now what you can see, by default, the data is coming on the left-hand side, but what is there on the right-hand side? Right-hand side, it is asking you that if you have any questions, you can ask. If you want to discover the insights, you can discover that. If you want to make a pivot table, pivot chart, anything you can make over here. So let's say this is the data set which I have. Now I want to see the percentage of total sales for each product. And now this is the thing which is coming. I want to make this as a insert pivot table or chart, click. And now you can see the chart is coming over here with the pivot table. So whatever the doubts related to your data set, you can type over here like how you are typing in the chat GPT, and you can make your pivot table and pivot chart. And this will give you the right information. And this is inside the Office 365. So in that case, your data will be safe. You're not sharing your data to anyone. So please explore this analyze data, which is there is a very good feature inside the Office 365. Analyze data. If you're not getting, you can search from here, analyze data, and you'll get that. I hope this is clear. Just type clear in the chat if it is clear. And you can ask multiple questions also in your own language. Yes. So since you're dealing with different kind of data set, your data set will be different, my data set will be different, somebody else will be different. You can directly ask questions, you can create pivot tables. You're not supposed to go with the traditional approach. You can directly click on this analyze data and you can directly create. Even not only the table, but quickly you'll get the chart as well. And that also in very good format. Okay. So now moving on to the next part. So this will give you the entire thing, this like chart and each and everything, and even the insights of the data set, which you can do internally inside the Excel. Okay. Now moving on to that analyze data. This, I hope this is clear. Now moving on to the Copilot part. Now, since you have used analyze data, which is internally it is there. Now there is an option called Copilot. This, if you have installed Office 365 and if you have the license, all those things. So you can see that Copilot as an add-in also it is coming. If it is not coming, so if it is coming like in the taskbar, and you can open that, and like how you are searching in the chat GPT, you can search here related to your data set. You can upload your data set. I hope you all can see my that Copilot screen which I opened just now. Anyone please confirm? Yes, thank you. So here, like you can add your data set, you can ask, you can create code also, and then you can do that analysis which you have done manually. For example, some of the formulas which I have not covered. For example, explain me the sum if formula. So for that sum if formula, it will give you that with example, it will explain you. And if you're not sure also, you can write again, give me the data set, and based on the data set, you can apply sum if formula. So now you can see that sum if formula, how you can apply that sum if formula. So not only for this formula, you can explain so many other formulas. Okay. Like here, I search for that top 30 formula list. So you can also search for top 30, top 50 formulas, and then you'll get that gist in one go. Okay, this is one way of using the AI tools. And within that, there is a link which I shared here. You can click over here, or directly what you can do, directly search Copilot in Excel in of the browsers. So let's say I'm searching here. I'm searching here Copilot in Excel. Now you can see how to apply the Copilot, how to use that. Okay, each and everything it is being given over here. Related to how you can use for home users, business leaders, admins, there are some video tutorials also available, which will help you out how to do that and use that Copilot. Coming on to that Excel again. Here you have seen that which I have opened, like Copilot in Excel. Get started with the Copilot in Excel. In that tab, if you'll go here on the left hand side, you can see how to use the format of your data, how to do the cleanup of your data inside the Copilot. Importing the data, import data from another Excel file, generate new formulas, generate single cells formulas, understanding the formulas, highlighting, sorting, filtering. And not only this, you can get the insights also from the data. But when you're using Copilot, the only thing which you have to do is you have to make your data into a tabular format. You have to make your data into a tabular format, and then directly you can ask the different kind of questions, either internally or externally. Okay, inside the Copilot. Now moving on to the next one, Cloud AI. Now for Cloud AI, there are two ways you can use. One is here on my system, you can see there is an options available, Cloud. Okay, so here there is an add-in option. Click on the add-ins. So whatever the add-ins you want to add inside your data set, and if your organization allows you, so you can directly add in if you're using the institute ID. If you're using your personal ID, you can use that whatever, either the free one or the paid one, depending on the what you want to explore. So for the cloud one, this is one of the best option I'll tell you, and I'll show you why I'm telling you. So there is a free option, what kind of task it can do. There is a pro option, what's the amount they are charging, and what is that the max option, how much they are charging, right? On the monthly basis. You can bring some add-ins. Okay. So similarly, here you can see add-ins for that Excel, which I'm using. And similarly, you can bring add-ins for the spreadsheet as well, within the add-ins option. So here you can see that GPT for the Excel Word, which I have already added as an add-in. I'll show you what is the use cases of that. Let's say I'm coming on to this. Okay. Now here you can write equal to GPT and see that types of formulas that is coming. And this is the formulas which was not there inside the Excel, but this is the formula which you can see when you have done that plugins. So now you can search, either classify, convert, edit, extract, fill, format. Even you want to summarize your data set, you can select your data set, you can write the prompt over here. You want to, let's say, change the language, you can translate. Let's say this is the data set which I have, and I want to change this, the language, text, then which language I want. Let's say I want to change this to the Marathi language, though some text is there. For text, you have to write in inverted commas. Okay. Then what's the source language? Let's say English. Any other instruction which you want to give. Okay. So that whenever it is coming in the square bracket, that is in general not mandatory. So let's say close that. And now you can see it will show busy options. And then after, depending on the internet speed, it will change this to that language. Okay. So this is one use case I'm telling. Similarly, you can get the insights, like how you can copy this and paste in the chat GPT or Cloud AI, and you can ask the insight of the data set. You can ask you to draw the different kind of charts. You can ask to make the dashboard as well. I tried to make the dashboard in the Copilot externally, but due to certain limitations that externally it was telling that Copilot cannot generate. But I'll show you how you can use Cloud AI and you can generate within few seconds, few minutes, if you have done all those things prior. But you have to do the that you can write the prompt prior. If you have written the prompt, then easily you can do that. I'll show that as well. So I hope this is clear. In the Cloud AI, what I want to show you, there is a data set, not this one, this data set. I'll request everyone, all the participants, copy this data set and open in new Excel sheet. Copy this data set and open in new Excel sheet. And the reason why I'm telling, so that there will be a much load on this file that I don't want to do, because there are so many sheets within that. And if you want to do that within the limited time, you just open this sheet in the new Excel file. Okay. So once you'll open this in the new Excel file, now what you are supposed to do, here there is a VBA code which I have written. And that VBA code, how I got that VBA code. I'm not good in, let's say, coding. For example, let's say I'm not good in coding. So what I can do, I can write a prompt, and the prompt is that create a VBA macro for the Excel that works on a spreadsheet named data. That is the name of the file. The macro should be assigned to a button, and when clicked, perform the following tasks without modifying the actual data values, and automatically it detects the full data range. Align all data including headers to the center, both horizontally and vertically. This is the prompt which I have written. And here you can see the 3 prompts which I shared. Prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3. So what you can do, you can copy paste all 3 prompts paste in Cloud AI and generate the VBA code. That is the first task. So let's say if you have created that VBA code, that also I've shared. No need to create also, because I thought maybe due to time constraint, it will take time to generate the code. Here you can see the code is also written, VBA code. So you can copy this VBA code, copy this and paste this in the developer Visual Basics. Once again, I'll repeat. Till now, we have 3 prompts. I'm copying each prompt and I'm generating the VBA code. And this is one of the easiest tasks. Copy the prompt, paste in the Cloud AI. Cloud AI will give you the VBA code. Now you have to put that VBA code into the Excel. How you'll do that? So for that, I'll show you that what I have already done. Okay. Have a look. So let's say I have created the VBA code. In the developer tab, you have to go. You have to click on the Visual Basics and you have to go onto the insert option, module. Insert and module. So that I know. Harmisha Jain, ma'am, this will ask you to contact your IT administrators when you're adding the add-ins. So for that case, what's the another way you can do? You can do the same thing externally. Externally in the sense, and you have to trust also that thing. For example, if you're searching the same thing in Copilot, Copilot is another extension for the Microsoft. So you can directly search either internally or externally. There's no such harm. Similarly, if you're using the Google Sheet, you can use Gemini, right? So in the Gemini, you can search the same thing. So your data will be related to that platforms only. So if you are unable to download any of the add-ins, there is a substitute. You can go for the external options. But yes, I agree. There are a lot more benefits you can see when you're doing this internally. Now there is a module option. You have to click on this module. And then here you have to rename this module, whatever the task which you are doing. So here we are generating 3 different things, 3 different prompts. So then you rewrite here, let's say data cleaning, then pivot table, then dashboard, 3 things which we are doing. Okay. So for that 3 different codes we are writing over here and copy paste the code over here. So once you copy paste the code, now close this one. And then after closing, assign this to the macro. Right click on this. How you'll bring this thing into your picture? From here, go into the insert option. There is a shape. You can bring any shapes. Okay. And just write over there like you are creating a button. And then assign macro. Once you click on assign macro, now you cannot see anything. So for that, I'm going to show you how you can create that. I hope everyone is ready right now. Okay. So I have ready with all those files, VBA code. So I'm copying this one, this code, which I have already shared in the Excel file. And if you want, but in this, this is the code number 1. Control C, copy. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going into the developer tab. Okay. Click on the Visual Basics and have a look what I'm doing. Control V, that code, and here rewrite, let's say this is data clean. Okay. Or clean data. clean data format. Clean data format I have written. Okay. You can write anything by which you can remember. So after this, close this one. Now, since you have created that, now it will come under that. Now assign this as a macro. Assign macro. Now see, earlier it was not there. Now you can see that is coming. Click on this one and OK. Now what it will do, it will change this to this kind of colors and then formatting, data cleaning and each and everything it will do. You're not supposed to bother about that. You have one prompt and that will do the cleaning for you. Okay. I hope this is clear. Similarly, you have created another sheet where you have to create like this another tab. How you will bring this thing into the picture? Here in this sheet, nothing will come onto your screen. It's a blank sheet. So for the blank sheet, you have brought this insert option, one symbol, one shape, any other shapes, okay? And then you have written here as a pivot. Basically, you're making as a button. Now for this, what you're doing, you're assigning another one. So what I'll do, I'll copy this one, another code, another VBA code, which I have generated with the help of Cloud AI. And generating this kind of code will hardly take 1 or 2 minute task, right? Till here. Control C. Now go into that file and right here, go in the developer and the same steps are same. Go in the Visual Basic. Now this time, insert module. Now this time what you are doing, you are going to create a pivot. So right here pivot and Control V. Okay. And then close it. Now assign this to the macros. Assign macro. Now this time pivot is coming. Create pivot sheet. Now create pivot. Okay. Now you have assigned this as a pivot. Now for this case, earlier it was not there, this data. Now since you have assigned this as a pivot, once you right click, you can assign this macro. Now go into the developer, click on the macros, and then you can run this one. Once you run, automatically all this pivot table will come. Automatically, see how quickly it is coming. Now it's time to make the dashboard. So how you'll make the dashboard? The same way. Now this time again, go and copy the another prompt from here. And this code I have not written. This is generated by AI, right? I have only written the prompt. And yesterday you all have learned that Gemini parts frameworks. Till here. Control C and then go. Now this time you have to open another sheet. Now within that sheet, okay, you have to make this as a dashboard. Write this as a dashboard. Click on Visual Basic. Now this time insert new module. Now just write here the dashboard. Okay. And paste the code. You have pasted the code. Fine. Now close this one. Now here, this hand side, you have already created this kind of tab. Okay. Now assign this, already I have created, that's the reason it is creating the dashboard. Assign this macro again. So after assigning this as a macro, what you can do, you click over here and it will create the dashboard. See how quickly it is creating the dashboard. Have a look. So only in the start you have to make this. See the with the KPIs, the different kind of charts. Okay. I hope this is very easy. Only the part which seems like a little bit technical is copying and pasting and putting it into the Visual Basics, and nothing anything technical. What you have done, you have written a prompt. Based on the prompt, Cloud AI gave you the VBA code. So that VBA macro code which you have put into the developer, in the developer tab, in the Visual Basics, you have created on the insert, you have written the code, copy pasted the code, you have just written the name of the task so that you can recall actually what are the tasks which you are doing. Okay. And then you have closed. And then every time you have made one button over on the screen by which you can generate or what you have assigned as a macro. Macro is for the repetitive task. Okay. So you can automate all those things. Just click on the dashboard and automatically it will create the dashboard. So you can see how quickly it is creating. So this is one way. Another way how you can create a dashboard within a minute, within a second, you can write prompt either in Copilot or in Canva, Cloud AI. It will give you that dashboard as well. But dashboard will be the HTML file. But if you want to make it inside the Excel, so you have to go with this approach. One. The second, you have to get that add-ins if you want to generate over here without VBA. Okay. Third approach, if you don't want to do all those things also, there is another tool called Automate X. So within that Automate X, there is an option. There are so many types of dashboard options available. Whatever you want, you can just select, and that kind of dashboard you can make within a second. This is the third way, but that is a paid tool. Okay. So I hope up to here this is clear. Now moving on to the last part. So we have done till here. Okay. So VBA code is clear. The steps are same. Only you have to repeat that steps. Okay. Now there is a data for which you have done. Move your cursor onto the next one, AI tools. This one. For this, there are tools list which I have written over here, which is important for you when you're doing the data analysis. The first one is a aistudio.google.com.live. So you can click on this. I'll show that. Already I have done this. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let's say I have this file, not this one, this file only. Okay. And I'll open this data tab, this data tab. Now I'm going on to that Google AI Studio.google.com.live. Here you can talk. Here you can share with your webcam. Here you can share your screen. So let's say I am going to talk over here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
I want to make a dashboard. Can you please tell me what are the steps by which I can make a dashboard with this data? Right now, not required. Thank you. I'll ask you later. So I'll close this one. Otherwise, it will keep asking me. So what's the reason why I'm showing this? If you have not only Excel, any other tools, you just share your screen and it saves. It's related to Google only. It will tell you the steps, what to do. It will tell you whether you're going on the right track, whether you're doing something wrong, each and everything. Even the formula also you can ask, like, I want to apply the VLOOKUP, I want to apply the XLOOKUP. I have written whether this is because of certain reasons I'm getting the wrong information. So it will tell you the solution as well. Okay. And I have tried and tested, and then I'm telling. The next one. Here, there is a tool called datasquirrel.ai. What datasquirrel will do, hardly it will take max to max 5 minutes, and then I'll summarize each and everything. Okay. So let's say this one. Already I opened that one, datasquirrel. Now within the datasquirrel, you can see, you can make a dashboard, but it will give you 4 free trials. Afterwards, you cannot use that. Then you have to pay an amount. So for that, if you want, you can generate some temporary email ID also, you can go for that. So like here, this is simple, safe, clean data analysis for non-tech professionals. You want to understand how it is working. You have to upload your data set. You have to do that auto cleaning. That auto cleaning will be done by this tool. Auto analyze it will do, and then it will do you that share and automate task as well. Within that, you can make different kind of charts, different kind of analysis, each and everything. And you can quickly make a dashboards as well, which you can download, which you can share to someone else. And this will hardly take 5 to 10 minutes max to max. The next one, there is another tool, Julius AI. If you have not explored that tool, I request please explore that tool. And again, now since you know that Google AI Studio, so if you're not sure how to do that thing, you just turn on the screen of Google AI Studio and ask that how to use that kind of tools, okay, for certain data set. And that tool will give you the hint, and then you can do that and you can explore that. Fine. Okay. So there is a Copilot, Google Gemini, Cloud AI, and the last one is that there is an AI for that. If you want to see that track of the latest version of the tools, which is coming related to that field of data analysis, you can search with that keyword and you'll get that. Okay. So this is from my side. I have done that Excel part with that AI. If you have any questions, you can ask. Anyone? Any question? The only suggestion, if you have any doubt, now no need to ask me also. You can directly ask the tools and you'll get the solution.
Yes. I guess no one is having doubt. Thank you, Dr. Upadhyay, for such an insightful and highly practical session. Your clear explanations and hands-on demonstration on spreadsheet management, uh, formulas, data organization, and administrative reporting have provided participants with valuable skills that can be immediately applied in their day-to-day work. Smart Karyaya Excelum, Excel for Smart Work, truly reflected the spirit of the workshop. We sincerely appreciate your time, guidance, and engaging interaction with the participants. It's an honor to present you with a certificate of appreciation as a token of our sincere thanks. Thank you, Dr. Upadhyay.
Thank you.
Before we close, may I request everyone to kindly switch on their cameras for the quick group photo. A gentle reminder, the attendance and feedback links for the session are now shared. Please ensure you fill in them, as submission of these forms are after every session is mandatory for the final certification. Thank you, everyone. We are looking forward to seeing you in the upcoming sessions. Tomorrow's sessions are AI Tools for Administrative Efficiency by Dr. Suman Madan and AI-powered presentations by Dr. Sarika Chauhan Shekhawat. Thank you. Thank you very much to be here, and thanks for having us on your headphones. Thank you.
Thank you.